it's a day I never wanted to see. But you know, the overwhelming love and memories and laughs, and you know, my mama left behind a village, man. I appreciate all the reaching out, just everything, man.
There are some losses that hit so hard they don't even feel real. And for Michael Archer, losing his mother is exactly that. The R&B icon's passing has left a hole in the music world, but for her son, it's something much deeper. An emptiness that no amount of time can fix. At her memorial, friends, family, and fans gathered to celebrate her life, but for Michael, it wasn't just about remembering her music. It was about holding on to the moments they shared, the lessons, the love, and the bond that no spotlight could ever capture. As he stood in front of everyone, struggling to find the right words, it was clear this goodbye was one he never thought he'd have to say. The room was heavy with emotion, but it wasn't just grief that filled the space. It was love, respect, and deep gratitude for the life Angie Stone lived. Her funeral wasn't just a farewell, it was a tribute to everything she had given to the world through her music, her wisdom, and most importantly, her heart. The atmosphere inside the hall was both breathtaking and somber. Candles flickered softly, casting a warm glow over the walls. A massive, stunning portrait of Angie stood at the front, capturing the essence of the woman who had touched so many lives. The floral arrangements were beautiful. White lilies, roses, and orchids lined the stage, filling the air with a soft, sweet fragrance. But beneath all of that beauty was the weight of loss that every single person in that room felt. Friends, family, and industry legends filled the pews. Familiar faces, some from the music world, others from her personal life, sat quietly, their eyes reflecting a mix of sadness and appreciation. They weren't just mourning Angie's passing, they were celebrating the legacy she left behind. The whispers of shared memories could be heard between sobs. People weren't just talking about her music, but about the woman behind the voice, the mentor, the friend, the mother. And then the moment came. Michael Archer stepped up to the podium. The room, which had been filled with soft murmurs and quiet sniffles, fell into complete silence. This wasn't just another tribute, it was a son trying to put into words what it meant to lose his mother. Michael took a deep breath, his hands gripping the sides of the podium as he tried to steady himself. His eyes, filled with unshed tears, scanned the room before finally landing on the portrait of Angie. And then he spoke. He started with a memory, one of the many lessons his mother had taught him over the years. He recalled how she always told him to stand tall, even when the world tries to knock you down. And as he spoke, it was clear that those words weren't just advice, they were the foundation of the man he had become. His voice cracked as he shared private moments that only the two of them knew. Nights when she stayed up with him after a rough day. Moments when she pushed him to believe in himself even when he doubted his own potential. He spoke about her sacrifices, the things she had given up to make sure her children had what they needed. Michael said, pausing to take a shaky breath. She was a legend to the world, but to me, she was just mom. The woman who made sure I was okay even when she wasn't. The woman who gave me everything, even when she had nothing left to give. Tears streamed down his face as he struggled through the last few words. The room remained silent, not out of obligation, but because no one wanted to break the moment. This wasn't just a speech, it was a final goodbye from a son to the mother who had been his rock. And no matter how many people were in that room, no matter how many flowers surrounded her casket, Michael's pain was something only he could understand.
You know, living with my mom and being with her and going on tour and you still don't really grasp what she is or who she is or what she mean to people. She, people loved her music, but now, in our passing, I'm seeing she was more of a spirit. She was like an angel. She's like a tree. She planted roots in the ground.
Michael didn't just talk about his mother's love, he spoke about her strength. Because Angie Stone wasn't just a mother, she was a warrior. Through the highs and lows of fame, she shielded her children from the chaos that came with being in the industry. She made sure that while the world saw Angie the artist, Michael saw Angie the mother. And that was no easy task. Balancing motherhood and a career in music wasn't something many could do, but Angie made it look effortless. While she was traveling the world, performing, and creating timeless records, she was also making sure her son had a stable and loving home. She never let one role overshadow the other. She would finish a show in one city and be home in time to make sure Michael had everything he needed before school the next morning. And even when she couldn't be physically present, she made sure he felt her presence in every way possible. Michael recalled moments where his mother made sacrifices that no one knew about. When industry demands became overwhelming, she always found a way to prioritize her family. She never let the pressures of fame change the way she raised her son. She made sure he grew up grounded, with values that weren't tied to money or status. She didn't want me to just be Angie Stone's son. She wanted me to be my own person. And she fought for that even when people tried to put me in a box because of who she was. There were struggles she never spoke about publicly. The music industry wasn't always kind, and behind the scenes, she faced battles that could have broken her. But she never let those battles touch her children. She carried her pain silently so they wouldn't have to. That was just who she was, a mother first and artist second. And though her voice may have gone silent, her music never will.
Man, my mama, that's my dog. That's more than my mama. That's like my best friend. Like, man, she would come to the studio with me, like, and she still had that fire, man. Like, she never lost it. Like, I made a song called Miss Angie's Son. I wrote it like for her to sing the hook, and you know I did the hook, and she's like, nah. She's like, nah, son, you can go ahead and do it. But we went in the studio. She came in the studio with me, like bombarded my session, like just took it over. You know.
As the choir softly sang one of Angie's most cherished songs, you could feel her presence in the room. The harmonies, the lyrics, every note carried a piece of her soul. It was a reminder that while she may be gone, her art would live on forever. Close friends and fellow artists took turns honoring her through song. Some of the most legendary voices in R&B stood before the crowd, delivering heartfelt renditions of the songs Angie once poured her heart into. The music wasn't just a performance, it was a tribute. A way of ensuring that her legacy remained intact. Every lyric, every melody felt heavier in that moment. This wasn't just music, it was memories, it was stories, it was Angie. And as people sat there listening, some with tears streaming down their faces, it was clear that her impact would never fade.
God is good, man.
As Michael stood at the casket, reality hit hard. This was it, the final moment, the last time he'd see his mother. And in that instant, the weight of it all became unbearable. His shoulders trembled as he fought back tears, his hands gripping the edge of the casket like letting go wasn't an option. People around him watched in silence, their own hearts breaking as they witnessed a son struggling with the kind of pain that words couldn't describe. Family members stepped closer, whispering soft words of comfort, gently placing their hands on his back. But no amount of reassurance could make this moment any easier. Michael lingered there, staring at her peaceful face as if waiting for her to wake up and tell him everything was okay. As if hoping that if he just stayed a little longer, time would reverse and he wouldn't have to face a world without her. His chest rose and fell in uneven breaths. His lips trembled as he whispered something, but no one could hear. Maybe it was a final, "I love you," or maybe it was a quiet thank you for everything she had done for him. Whatever it was, it came from the deepest part of his soul, a son saying goodbye to the woman who had shaped his entire life. Tears streamed down his face, and for a moment, it felt like he couldn't move. move. Like walking away would mean closing a door he wasn't ready to close. It took the gentle touch of a family member who whispered, "She's always with you," to finally help him take that painful step back. But even as he moved, he turned back again, as if making sure this wasn't just a terrible dream. The air in the room was thick with sorrow, but there was also love. Love for Angie, love for the son she left behind, love for the legacy she built. Because loss is cruel, but love never dies. Angie Stone may be gone, but through her music, her children, and the countless lives she touched, her presence will never fade. She wasn't just a voice in R&B, she was a force, a storyteller, a mother, a friend. And her impact will continue to live on long after this painful goodbye. For Michael, the ache of losing his mother will never fully heal, but her love, that will never leave him. It will be there in every lesson she taught him, in every moment she guided him, in every note of her music that still plays. So, to honor Angie's memory, let's keep her legacy alive. Drop a comment if you were touched by her music, her story, or her incredible spirit. And if this tribute moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because legends like Angie Stone deserve to be remembered forever.